Hey, this is Steve. It's springtime. Fish are shallow. One of the best baits to catch them on is a spinnerbait. But which one? There's so many colors, blade configurations. It can be daunting. Well, I can tell you that I'm going to show you how to pick the best spinnerbait for the situation that you're in virtually every time. Now that's saying a lot, okay? But I consider myself to be somewhat of an expert on catching bass on a spinnerbait. Use them all the time, catch fish on them a lot of times, and most of the time I'm fishing, I have one tied on. So, what do? Where do I go? Well, you're going to look at your conditions. Number one, how deep are you fishing? Number two, what's the water color? So let's talk about number two, watercolor. If you're fishing in visibility that's, say, 3 feet, okay? A solid color, like this white. Possibly white and chartreuse, but it's really hard to go wrong with white. I mean, you can put a chartreuse trailer on it. Water with a foot of visibility, I'm going to go to a chartreuse. And this is a chartreuse and line. A foot and less, I'm going to a chartreuse and blue, and I'm going to a painted blade with a red head. Everybody in Oklahoma is going to say, yeah, I know that. That's what we do, and that's where that came from. So I can't say that I invented this. Okay. Now, what's the water depth? So how do I pick a spinnerbait? I'm going to tell you that 99% of the time, you're fine with either a 3/8 or a half, whichever you happen to like better. If you're using a 3/8, you might have to reel a touch slower. And we're talking shallow water. We're talking less than 10 foot. So, how do we come up with blades and stuff like that? Well, and you don't see this a lot, it's a single willow. With a single willow blade, I'm able to reel this relatively fast and keep it deep in a water column. So this 3/8 spinnerbait, I could fish easily in 8 to 10 feet of water. Reel it fast enough, but yet not have it up near the surface. What happens if I'm fishing shallow? Ooh, I'm going to fish in 1.5 feet of water, maybe 2.5 feet most, and it's got that black slime all over the bottom. I don't want it in the bottom. Well, then we go with Colorado blades. They have more lift. And if you're fishing somewhere in between, in Indiana. Now, with dirty water, you can go with more thump with a single Colorado. Cleaner water, I would go more with being able to reel it quicker with willows. So, that's the 99%. What's the 1%? Well, the 1% is when I'm fishing deep with a spinnerbait. Okay, you'll notice that this blade is a little bit bigger, but it's not a huge blade for this bait. Not at all. That's because I don't want a lot of lift. I can throw this out, it'll sink quick because this is a 1-ounce spinnerbait in 10 to 12, 15 feet of water, and I can slow roll this, I can rip and flutter it or do whatever I need to, and basically deep grass on a ledge is what I would use it for mostly. Okay. Now, water clearer than a 3-foot visibility. I'll use a skirt that's see-through, translucent, almost looks like scales in the water. So, that's a really good guide for picking a spinnerbait, but I'll give you a bonus. If you feel like bass are super pressured, or you feel like you're the third or fourth guy that's possibly fished down that bank, pick up a compact spinnerbait. You'll see that there's a big difference in size between the compact bait and the full-size bait. So with what I've told you and the things that I've shown you, you should be able to pick the right spinnerbait virtually every time you go out. Hey, till next time, I'm Steve.